All right, we good. We good. Let me go ahead and blow up this chat box real quick. Let's go. Let's go. I see you, Josue. Appreciate you, bro. Appreciate you. All right. Last week, I believe we did some sell ideas. This week we'll go ahead and cover some buy ideas. Right. So you guys have the buy cheat sheet on you guys now. It's in the chat, so you guys can go ahead and take a look at that. So let's go ahead and break this down, guys. And again, we want to be focusing on the head and the shoulder, right? And we're focusing on buys. This is the setup that we want to see, right? We want to see buy opportunities in this area. When after we get, the break of structure and is it command and the change of character, right? We want to see these buy opportunities, right? We want to see these buy opportunities, and it's best that we take these buy opportunities when the market is uptrending, right? Anytime the market is uptrending, guys, we want to look for this pattern here. Does that make sense, guys? Anytime the market is trending, guys, this is what we want to look for. This right here is what we want to look for. Give me a 5 if that makes sense. You know what? I messed up. Don't say
All
that.
good. It's all good. It's all
I'll
good,
fix
bro. I
it. I'll fix it and
saw
I'll
it.
send it to the chats.
It's all good. I saw it, in the chat. I was like, wait, so bye. I was like, what the? He's tripping, but no, it's all good.
I did that right before the call. I was
Yeah,
rushing.
yeah,
I
all
was
good, all
sweating and
good, bro.
everything, bro. I'll fix it though right after the call. Shoot it to you guys. But yeah, anytime we're uptrending, guys, we want to see the inverted head and shoulder. Now, obviously, there are two types of head and shoulders that we want to go ahead and look at. Right? There's the regular head and shoulder, where we break out of the top and then change character out of the bottom so we can take sell opportunities. Right? There's that pattern there. And then there's the inverted head and shoulder. Same thing, but it's upside down, right? We want to have the break of structure to the downside and then that change of character so we can go ahead and take buy opportunities, right? These are the areas, or these are the patterns that we want to go ahead and take opportunities off of. Now, again, this one is for sells. Right? This one is for sells, and this one is for buys. Right. I'm not sure. I hope not. Hope not. Right? We have sells right here and then buys right here. So when we're in an uptrend, guys, when we're in an uptrend, we want to look for the inverted pattern, right? Give me a 2 if that makes sense. Awesome. So let's go ahead and get into it, guys. Right? When the market is consolidating, this is a good thing, right? That means something is going to happen sometime soon. When? We don't really know, but obviously we have a hunch because of the news, right? When we see that liquidity is being built up, that is a good thing, right? We just have to wait patient for our turn, right? So when we see market building up consolidation, building liquidity, bouncing off support and resistance, right? Let's just sit in our hands. We don't want to make too much. We don't want to take too many opportunities when the market is like this, right? Now, when we're looking for buys, we want the liquidity sweep or the break of structure to happen on the downside, right? We want the break of structure to happen on the downside. So let's go ahead and just put this right here real quick so I can show you guys. This will be my support. This will be my resistance. So if I'm looking to take buys, I need the market to actually break and close or just sweep liquidity to the downside right beneath the support zone, right? I need that to happen right there so we can go ahead and get a break of structure a liquidity sweep, and a left shoulder. Now, once we go ahead and reverse and take our sweet time and reverse and close above this resistance, once we close above this resistance, guys, liquidity. Once we close above this resistance, this would be considered a change of character. Right? Yes, the X's are liquidity. So when you see consolidation, liquidity is being built up. Now, when you don't know what liquidity is, that's not a good thing because you could be liquidity. Now, liquidity is money being built up, right? So inside this circle, right, there is tons of money being passed back and forth off of the support and off of this resistance. Does that make sense, Jose? So when you see the market moving sideways, that means money is being built up, liquidity is being made, consolidation is happening right now, right? So remember, there are buyers buying at support, right? So when the market drops down, boom, everybody who was buying at support, they just got swept. They just got to the stop loss hit. So that would be a liquidity sweep. Does that make sense, Jose? Now the same thing happens with the resistance, right? People are selling at resistance. Right? People are selling at resistance. So when the market reverses and breaks and closes above my support, look what happens. Everybody who was selling, if they didn't take profit as the market dropped, right? Because look at where did this come from? This came from resistance. So everybody who was selling at this level just came up. They thought they came up big, right? And then what happens? The market reverses. So if they didn't close out their orders or take profit, if they were being greedy, you know what happened, Jose? They just got clapped. They just got swept as well. Does that make sense, bro? Let me know, bro. I, okay, kind of. Kind of. We can't have that, bro. We can't have that. So look, check me out. Check me out, Jose. I need you to pay attention right here in front of the class, bro. When the market is moving sideways, this is called consolidation, right? Now, what happens in consolidation is money is being built up in this section right here, right? Money is being bounced off of support and resistance. Do you know what support and resistance is? So support and resistance is pretty much like a brick wall, right? For a short amount of time where the money is being bounced around from this line to this line, right? So money is being kept literally between this zone. Does that make sense, bro? Right? So when you see that, yeah, when you see that money is being built up right here. Now, for us, again, money is being sold at support, or I'm sorry, at resistance, and money is being bought at support, right? People are selling at this black line, and there's also people buying at this black line. Does that make sense, bro? Awesome. So now what do the banks do? The banks, the banks control the market, bro. Right? So what we want to see is the banks. I want to see the banks peak and peak below this black line. Right? Does that make sense? I want to see the bank peak below this black line. Now, what does that do? Anybody who was trying to buy at support, Jose, they just lost, bro. They just hit stop loss. Right? So when that happens, this is called a liquidity sweep. I see you typing, bro. I see you typing. If both support and resistance are liquidity, where would you buy or sell if they are both liquidity? All right, we're moving too fast now, bro. We're moving too fast, right? That's the next step. But does this make sense so far? Right? Okay, cool. So again, when we're uptrending, right? When we're uptrending, we need the liquidity to be swept on the bottom first, right? So if the money was being kept inside of this zone and the money just came right down here, who got swept first? Support or resistance? The buyers or the sellers? Who got swept first? Who did the banks take out? Buyers. Exactly. Everybody who was buying at this black line, all those people who are buying, they just lost, bro. And they call that a liquidity sweep. Does that make sense, Jose? Awesome. So now, when the market reverses, this is intentional movement, Jose, right? The market's letting you build up money so the banks can go ahead and take it for themselves, right? So the banks just swept these buyers. Now, when you see the market reverse in a quickness and we start heading up like that, now everybody who was selling at resistance, bro, they were obviously in blues. When the market went down, these guys were obviously in profit. Would you agree? Everybody who was selling at this line, when the market dropped, they were in profit, right? Now, if these people are greedy and they don't take profit or they don't move their stop loss to break even, if they don't have good money management, when the market starts to reverse and closes above, now these sellers just got swept. Does that make sense, Jose? Awesome, bro. So now we're here. Okay, we're here. So that's why when you see a break of structure, right, or the XX, that means the liquidity was swept. Does that make sense, Jose? We're good? Awesome, bro. Good question. Good question. So now where do we enter at? That's your question, right, Jose? Where do we enter and take opportunities off of? Awesome. So now when we see the market just gave us a break of structure or liquidity sweep, and then the market changes character, right? Again, this is intentional, Jose, right? The market, they let us build money in this area just so they can take us out one by one. Does that make sense, bro? Now, we want to take opportunities when the market wants to go ahead and pull back so we can go ahead and take that ride with them. Because we want to ride the coattails of the banks and the institutions. The people who make these markets, bro, we want to capitalize off their footprints they leave behind. Right? So when they do this and they make this structure, it's very, very intentional. Right? So where do we want to take buy opportunities? Right where we had this break of structure, right where we had this liquidity sweep, that's where we want to take that opportunity. Off of the support zone. Right? Off of the support. Remember, support, resistance, support, resistance. Same thing. My support zone, my break of structure, my liquidity sweep, it's my left shoulder. Give me a 5 if that makes sense. Does that make sense, guys?
Yes.
Now, I want to take buy opportunities right here in this area. All right. So when the market wants to come back, I want to take a buy there. Now, where's my stop loss? My stop loss will be this low. Right? Remember, the banks dropped down. The banks dropped down and took out these buyers, right? So when they dropped down and reversed, that low point, I want to go ahead and use that as my stop loss. Does that make sense, Jose? Yeah? Awesome. Now I want to go ahead and pull my take profit to a minimum 1 to 3. So notice how if I pull this down, notice it's a 1 to 1. Now we don't really worry about the number after the decimal. This is more of a like it's a 1 or 1.5, 2. We're rounding up or rounding down, right? Now when we stretch this out, you see the numbers are growing. Now once it hits a 2, now it's a 1 to 2 risk to award. So we're risking $10 for a profit of $20. right? So that's getting better, but we want a 1 to 3. So if we pull this up and it touches 3, that's a 1 to 3 risk to reward. My risk would be $10 for a profit of $30. Does that make sense, bro? Awesome. Is it because it's unlikely to go there because they'd be taking out their own investors? So they're not taking out their own investors. They're taking out people like us who are retail traders, right? There's people who don't like trading with volatility because it could be scary for these traders. So what happens is after the volatility is done, right, and it starts to calm down, the market calms down, the market's just chilling. And the support and resistance traders are like, okay, the market's not angry right now. It's not volatile. We can go ahead and make money right now. Does that make sense, bro? So it's not that they're taking out their own people. They're taking out, pretty much the society, the retail traders. Does that make sense? Awesome, bro. Awesome. So yes, this is the setup, guys. I want to be looking at buys around here. So when the market wants to go ahead and come back in this area, guys, this can take, depending on the time frame, guys, and this is what you guys have to understand. Depending on this time frame, if you're on a lower time frame, it could take an hour or so, right? If you're on the 1 hour to 4 hour, this can take a couple days. If you're on the daily, this can take a couple weeks. If you're on the monthly, this can take a couple years, right? So depending on the time frame, this stuff takes time. But whenever the market wants to come back inside of this zone, I want to take an opportunity. Does this make sense, guys? And I will show you a perfect example of this on I think it's GU if I'm not mistaken, right? So when the market wants to come back, I want to take buy opportunities. Boom, market is in my zone. Jose, what am I doing, Jose, when the market is in my zone, bro? Am I looking for buys or am I going to be a spectator and watch the market do what it does without me? Am I entering for buys or am I going to watch? Yes, sir. I want to go ahead and enter some buys. Boom. We want to take opportunities. We want to go ahead and take these opportunities, guys. This is what we want to look for. This is what we want to look for. It says, what good time frame are for scalpers? If you're looking for scalpers, I would go from the 1 all the way up to the 1 minute to the 1 hour. The 1 hour would be your higher time frame bias, and you can use the 1 to 5 minute as scalper market structure. Make sense, bro? If you're a scalper, I would do 1 minute to the 1 hour, and use your 1 hour time frame as your higher time frame bias. Right? You, no matter what you are, guys, scalper, intraday, you need a higher time frame bias, or else you will always get caught slipping and not understand why. Right? When you don't understand why, it's mainly because you're on this on one time frame and not going back and forth to see what other possibilities that can be happening. Right? Because when we don't do that, we're so stuck on the one possibility that our brain is telling us could happen. Right? If we're looking for buys, it's like, okay, we're only looking for buys, nothing else can happen. But when you go on a higher time frame, you're like, oh snap. Well, I do see buys, but I could be buying a little bit earlier, right? My zone. If I stay on the higher time frame or maybe look at a higher time frame, it'll give me a lower entry, and then I can go with that on the lower time frame, right? So, how about the time frame for intraday? 1 hour to the daily, bro. 1 to 4 hour, and then the daily would be your higher time frame. Yes, sir. Good questions, bro. Good questions. Guys, do we have any questions regarding this right here? Had that problem for a long time. That sauce. Hey, appreciate you. Appreciate you. I did too, to be honest. I did too. Does anybody have any questions regarding this, guys? Please let me know. Please let me know if you guys have any questions. If whether it's you guys can go ahead and ask. Any questions, fam?
Yeah, Vin, I have a question.
What's up, bro?
Yeah, so as the market comes there in our zone, in our buying zone, so can I just take like a simple trade, maybe a test trade, just keep on waiting like a break of structure, then I can take the top one?
Yes. Yes, correct. So anytime I break this down, bro, understand you have the opportunity to test trade the first touch and then get into a confirmation trade. I know you've been with us for a while, bro. So I'm pretty sure you're starting to understand the structure a little bit. So yes, right. When anytime I teach guys, I may just bring up one entry, but if you guys been with me for a while, you guys know I like to take two trades, one test trade, one confirmation. So how do I go about that? Right? When the market touches, boom. As soon as it touches, I want to enter a test trade. Now, a test trade is a trade that's under leveraged, right? Super under leveraged. If you like to risk 1% on a trade, maybe you're risking a quarter of a percent. Does that make sense, guys? Let me know if that makes sense.
Yes.
My first touches are never one percenters, right? Never one percenters, because if the market wants to go ahead, hit me stop loss, I only lost a quarter of a percent. Now, once the market takes me out stop loss, but gives me that break of structure and the change of character, once that happens, I can actually take another setup right here. Now, my stop loss would be a little bigger than the first one, but it is what it is. The market makes the structure, entries, and stop loss. You don't, right? So you could look at something like that. Now, let's say the market doesn't hit my stop loss, and it was a nice play. I'm I'm in at a quarter of a percent, and then once I get this change of character, I can now enter with a heavier lot size that fits my trading account, and that would be my 1% trade in this area. Does that make sense, guys?
Yes.
Now, this can go for a starting point. This can be for a head and shoulder. You are always allowed to test trade the first touch. And if the market respects that zone, how do you know when the market will respect the zone? Well, we'll get a change of character off of that zone, right? If the market doesn't respect, well, you know what's going to happen? It'll just disrespect and it'll just go down, right? But when the market respects, you when the market respects the zone and you're able to see the structure being broken, boom, break a structure, break a structure. Oh, the market's respecting, and we get that change of character. Once we get that, we can go ahead and take the opportunity in this area. Boom, send it back up. Make sense, guys? Good question, bro. Good question. But yes, you're
Uh,
always
it,
go ahead.
yeah, Vinny, can you help me add on something on there? So if the market violates our either starting point or entry zone, right? So and it continues down, can we just wait for a retest on that, which was our starting point to sell down?
That's a great question too. Let's cover that right now. Might as well. We might as well, right? Does everybody understand the setup when it comes to taking a test trade and a confirmation trade off the buy opportunity before we continue with the reversal? We're good? All right, let me go ahead and just delete this. We'll delete this, and we'll just keep it simple like this for the YouTube picture, right? Let me go ahead and fix this up real quick. Oops. All right. Awesome. Now the reversal, right? Let's say the market doesn't respect the zone. Let's say the market doesn't respect the zone, right? There's a couple of things we can do, right? Once the market disrespects this zone, guys, there's a couple of things we can do, right? There's the head and shoulder violation, the brand new starting point, and the brand new head and shoulder. What's up, Josue?
Yeah, bro. Yeah, bro. Uh, gonna ask you. Was gonna ask you on the second trade on the second trade after the change of character, is the stop loss on the second trade at the stop loss of at the is the stop loss of the second trade at the stop loss of the stop loss at the test trade, or is it
No, so that's a
no?
great question as well, right? So this this stop loss is for this entry, right?
Oh,
Now
yes,
I'm
sir.
gonna go ahead and use this new entry. We have to use this as my stop loss now.
Oh, okay. Gotcha, gotcha,
So
gotcha,
first
bro.
touch,
Gotcha, bro.
test trade.
Gotcha. I was a little confused. No
Now,
worries.
boom, we have the new setup right there.
Okay, perfect, perfect, bro.
Cool.
Yes, sir.
Awesome, bro.
Got you.
Let's
Awesome.
get it.
Thank you.
Yup. Awesome, guys. Now, there's two things we can do. There's the head and shoulder violation, right? And I'll cover that right now. That's exactly how you stack your orders. Yes. Is the change of character starting point the danger zone Orrin refers to, like not to trade on those points? Yes, right. You need that change of character, right? Because if you don't, you're in the danger zone. You're in there, big dog. Right now, boom, market is coming towards my entry. Let's say we get some respect, and then all of a sudden, market drops. All of a sudden, market drops. So there's obviously this did not hold. And there's one thing you can do, which is the head and shoulder violation, right? Once this breaks and closes, right? We need the break and close below. Break and close below. Once the market breaks and closes below, we can actually use this right shoulder violation as a sell opportunity and sell it down. And now my stop loss will be at the closest high. Does that make sense? Right. So now I can have something that looks like this with my stop loss at the closest high, my sell opportunity at that right shoulder with the minimum 1-3 risk to reward. So that's option one, right? That's option one. Now, option two is you find your brand new starting point that just broke and closed below. I would need to make a successful trade to believe I truly have it down. You will, bro. You will. It's all about the reps, right? So this is option one. Option two. Option two, right? Guys, did we break and close below this line right here? Yes. We should have some type of breakout rally to the downside. Right? Do you guys agree? We should have some type of breakout rally to the downside. Right?
Yep.
Yes.
So there
Yes,
should
sir.
be some type of starting point in this area to take an opportunity down. Right? So when the market pulls back up, we can go ahead and use this as an opportunity, your starting point with the minimum 1-3 risk to reward. Remember, bro, a successful trade isn't about winning all the time. It's about following your rules because losing is part of the game. Just because we lose doesn't mean we necessarily did something wrong. Facts, 100%. 100%. Option two, guys. We find the breakout rally, we follow it back to the starting point, and we can use that as an opportunity. Give me a two if that makes sense. That's your second opportunity. That's your second option, right? Your third option, guys. Your third option. Your third option. Now, obviously, this is a head and shoulder violation because that's how we were looking at it before. But let's unclick real quick. Let's take a step back, guys, and let's even delete these. If I delete those, what does that look like to you? Let's think outside the box, right? I left this here for a reason. What does that look like to you guys? Does anybody want to take a guess? Downtrend. That's the start of a downtrend, correct. Now, when we're in a downtrend, are we looking for a head and shoulder or an inverted head and shoulder? When we're in a downtrend, we need to look for a head and shoulder when the market is in a downtrend. So look at this, guys. I know we were looking for buys at first, but would you consider that a break of structure to the upside? And we can obviously see it is a liquidity sweep. And that would be my left shoulder. So if this is my left shoulder, if that's my left shoulder, then this is my head. Do you guys see it? Let me see if I could bust out the little. Where are they at, my boy?
Yep.
Left shoulder, head. Once we get that change of character, we can now look for that right shoulder. Right? Let's pull out the homie. Right? Notice how this is the highest peak. So this break of structure, this is going to be my left shoulder. And now once we get that, guys, and it's looking this big, and when the market comes back here, guys, oh my goodness, you're in for the swing of a lifetime. You're in for a swing of a lifetime. So not only can we take the violation of the head and shoulder, we can also take the starting point, and we can also look for that right shoulder to the regular head and shoulder to sell the market down. Does that make sense, guys?
Yes.
So when we get stop lossed
Yes.
and the market violates, don't panic. Like, you shouldn't panic. Just look for the same thing, just upside down. If we were looking for buys with inverteds, well, then let's look for sales with regular. Make sense? Let's not overcomplicate, guys, or
Yes.
overthink, right? Like, we still have to identify structure. So if the market did break and close and violate, well, let's go ahead and erase our chart. Let's clean up our chart and then look at it from a different perspective. Right? Make sense, guys? You guys ready to go look at some charts? Do you guys have any questions regarding
Absolutely.
this? Any questions?
Yes, take us.
We're good? Awesome. Let's go ahead. We'll take a look at GU. And this is on the monthly time frame. I don't think Levels has the history. Hold on. Let me see if I can pull up another tab and pull up BJ's trading view and delete all his markups real quick. Let's look at GU. GBP, USD. Bless you, big guy. What the heck happened? Oh. All right, let's go to the monthly real quick. What pair was it? Let me see. I'm trying to think. I'm trying to remember what pair it was. Was it EU? EU or USD? What's the? Oh yes, it was this one. So look at this, guys. Check me out. I mean, this isn't something that you would normally look at because no one really trades on the monthly time frame. But look at this structure real quick, guys. Look at this real quick. Where's this tools at? Does he have a favorites? Where's your favorites at? Right here. Check me out, guys. Look at all this stuff that's happening. Notice how we have all of this structure, right? Now, notice how we fall to the floor for literally like let's see, at least 4+ years, and then boom, we're right back up, right back up. So we have a break of structure to the downside here. BOS. BOS to the downside, and then we change character. Let's delete this. So where's my shoulder at? My shoulder would be right here. And the market has respected that zone, and it has gone up at least 1,500 pips. So that's fire. Guys, this happens on any time frame, right? This is the 1 month. Let's go down to the 1 minute or the lower time frame to see what we could be looking at in this area. So let's drop down to the 1 hour. Let's see if it goes back that far. Oh, it doesn't even let me. 2 hour. Okay. So there's two things that I'm seeing right now. And it's one, it's giant structure. Notice how we have drop down, pull back, drop down, pull back, drop down, and then we change character, right? So let's go ahead and mark that up. We have this right here as a break of structure, and then we have this as my change of character. Right now, let's dive in a little bit more. Let's go way down here. Dang, it didn't even give you an opportunity down here. So this is what I'm looking at way down here. So when the market comes down here, I would be looking to take some opportunities off of this zone. This is a clean setup. Clean setup, guys. Lower low, lower high, inside liquidity. We sweep liquidity and we change character, right? So when the market wants to come back into this area, I don't know when it's going to happen, but when it does, I mean, I want to take some opportunities. I want to see what can happen when the market comes back to the zone, right? So now let's take a look. So we know once the market has entered this zone, we're looking for buys, right? It happened. It is what it is. But look at this, guys. Look at this right here. We have a break of structure, and then we have a starting point right here. Right. Notice how that starting point, after being touched and used, it was actually used for liquidity. So once the market came back inside of here, boom, liquidity, liquidity, liquidity. The market comes down, and then we immediately reverse. Guys, what does that look like to you? What does that look like to you? When we're now looking for buys, right? When we're now looking for buys, we have to have the market sweep to the downside first. And then we need that change of character. Boom. So look at this. We have two setups in one. We have the breakout rally, and this is the 2 hour starting point, right? And it is what it is. This 2 hour starting point. Bam. That's an entry. Clean. My opinion, it's pretty clean. The 1 hour looks like it's probably like right here, to be honest, the way the candles are coming together. Let's take a look real quick. Let's zoom out. Oh, man. So we have a starting point back to back, break a structure. We have a starting point. This starting point, it held for a little bit, right? It held for a little bit. Oops. Held for a little bit, consolidated, made some support. The market peaks below, and then we immediately reverse. Guys, what do you think that is right there? When the market just peaks below, oh my goodness. just peaks below and then immediately reverses, guys, what do you think that is? Head and shoulder, baby. Head and shoulder. Not only that, guys, we have a starting point right here. Look at this. Yeah, it's liquidity, 100%. Rally breakout, right? The last selling candle. This is my starting point. This is my demand zone right here. This last selling candle. Boom. Let's go ahead and change that color real quick. Blue. Let's see if the market comes back and respects. It does. Where's my stop loss? Right here. Holy cow. Guys, would you have taken that setup right there? I mean, that's pretty flamo. Depending on where you want to enter, your stop loss is right there. Minimum 1 to 3, risk to reward. But we know if market's really swinging and buying from that monthly shoulder, if the market's really buying from that monthly shoulder, look at this, guys. When the market wants to go ahead and change character, and as soon as that change of character starts to reverse and come back for us, once we enter, we want to actually take those guys out. So that would have been a 1 to 5. Exactly. Exactly. So that right there is a crazy play. That right there was the move you wanted. It kind of gave you a couple of losses in here, made you think, it made you emotional, right? But at the end of the day, it continued doing its thing, right? And this is the other thing when I got from Will, right? From his slideshow from the Trader's Edge workshop event, right? He talked about risk to reward, and I don't know why it clicked for me so well, but he brought up a 10 trade cycle. And we've talked about this over and over and over again. So I don't know why it really clicked to me that day, but it did, right? Anytime we take trades, guys, we get super emotional after 1, 2, 3, 4 losses back to back to back. And I'll be the first one to say, yeah, I've been there, right? But when you take proper risk to reward with great money management, guys, don't worry about 1 to 2 losses. Finish off your 10 trade cycle, because when you use 1 to 3 risk to reward, that allows you to be wrong. So knowing you're using 1 to 3, and that's allowing you to be wrong a few times, why are you so emotional? You're like, oh shit, you got me. You got me right-handed. I mean, think about it, right? If you know exactly, it's the money. If you know that using 1 to 3 risk to reward allows you to be wrong a couple times, why are you so emotional after 1 to 2 losses? Right? Don't worry about 1 to 2 losses. Finish off your 10 trade cycle. And if you have good money management, good risk to reward, and you're using 1 to 3 risk to rewards, and if you don't come up profitable at the end of that 10 trade cycle, then we have to tweak something, right? Then we could be a little emotional. You're like, dang, 10 trades, all L's, god damn. I got to fix something, dog. But if you're finishing off that 10 trade cycle and you're still up 2%, 4%, well, shit, we're good, right? You're still good. But this right here is a perfect example of, you know what? We had a starting point. This actually gave an opportunity here. But if you were looking to buy off it a second time, what made you emotional, swept you out? You had a starting point opportunity. Boom, you're right back up. You're right back up. Look at starting point opportunity. It swept you out. So now we're 1 to 1, but we should be up 1%, right? Boom, market does its thing, comes right back. And this can be I won 1, I won 2, I lost 2. Should I take this trade? I won 2, I lost 2, man. I don't know. What if this one's the loser? What if this one's the loser? Guys, don't think like that. Finish off your 10 trade cycle. And at the end of the 10 trades, if you are in negative, then we have to tweak something. But a lot of you guys know what you guys are looking at. So take the opportunities. That is a good play right there. Super, super nice, in my opinion. Super clean. Super clean, guys. Super clean. Yeah, I should took off, bro. and it's gone. And it's gone. Yeah, it's gone. It's out of there. So just keep that in mind, guys. Right? Keep that in mind. Now let's go to USD JPY. I'm actually liking USD JPY off of the. Let's see. What's up? What's up? Yo, you're cutting out a little bit, bro. All right, good. All right, I'm favoring some sales with UJ. I'm usually very patient with UJ. I never rush anything with UJ. But let's go to the monthly time frame. So right now, guys, we are actually in a monthly starting point, right? And again, you would never know if you guys don't take a look, right? You guys would never know. Break a structure literally says, I mean, we can see that. We can see that's a clear break of structure to the upside. Guys, this would be your monthly starting point. Look at how we're getting rejection off that, right? Anything else is actually a lot lower, right? On the monthly, this is your target. Obviously, it's going to take time to go down there, but right now, this is the closest one. We may have something in here on lower time frame. Let's take a look. Oh man, look at this. Look at this right here. Oops. Look at this right here, bro. Break of structure. Starting point. Look at that. If you missed that, for good measure, it gave you another one. So this is a perfect example right here of, a good test trade. Taking a good little test trade, you feel me? And then once the market gives you what you need to see, which is that change of character, boom, we have another setup right there, back to back. That's fire, right? That's pretty fire. That's lit. So now that I see that, it doesn't look like there's anything down there really available. Maybe this right here. And that already looks like it's been used up. Um, so yeah, I'm not really, there's nothing in here that interests me, to be honest. Let's go down one more time frame real quick. Let's see if levels can do me a solid. Come on, baby. BJ's computer works a lot faster than mine. I'll give it to him for sure. Shit's pretty lit. What's down here? Come on, give me something. Give me something. Give me $1. Something, my boy. Mm, 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 mm. I mean, other than this head and shoulder right here. Oh my goodness, this mouse. Other than this head and shoulder, that's the only thing that would be piquing my interest, right? We do have lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, and then immediately we're gone, right? So we'll have to see what happens when the market comes down here. So let's go back up to that daily time frame real quick. Oh, look at that. Now look, that was the 4 hour zone, right? Now, if I move this up to that daily zone, that's already a touch, bro. That zone has probably already been used, right? That already got that's pips, bro. That's literally 160 pip risk to a 600, 700, and 400, 740 pip return. So like that trade's already good, right? But the thing is, we haven't gotten an inverted head and shoulder off of it yet. So what I'm looking to see is if we can take one more drop to the downside, right? One more drop to the downside so we can eventually go ahead and get that inverted head and shoulder and send it back up. Right? So right now, this doesn't really look good. This has already been used. This looks pretty good right here. I'm gonna just clone this. I do see a starting point right there as well. That looks pretty decent. So I'm gonna go ahead, delete that. Awesome. Awesome, guys. So let's focus right here, right? I do see a starting point on the daily time frame at this area for sales. Let's drop down to the 4 hour. Now, just because I see the starting point does not mean the market has to go up there, right? Especially when the market is super bearish trending or bullish trending, guys, it'll just take off and it'll save that zone for later, right? So this is what I'm seeing. I want to save that zone for later just in case, right? But where is live price? Live price is right here. So where's the closest sell opportunity to live price? All right, let's take a look. Notice how we have a breaking structure to the downside. Pretty clean breaking structure. We have lower low, lower high, nasty, nasty, nasty rally, right? Awesome. Let's zoom in. And the starting point is actually right there. So let's go ahead and mark that up. Boom. Nasty movement. Nasty movement off of USDJPY, right? But now let's break it down. Let's break down the structure, right? Notice what happened, guys. We have higher high, higher low, and now the market isn't going higher or going lower. We're actually moving sideways. So, Jose, what would this be considered, bro? What is this right here?
Consolidation?
Yes, sir. That's consolidation. This is also liquidity, right? When you see consolidation, money is being built up at resistance and at support. It's not always going to look like a clean drawing like this, right? It's not always going to look like that. So you know when the market is actually moving sideways, that's consolidation. Right now, boom, we get the breaker structure to the upside, got the BOS. Now, Jose, if this is consolidation and liquidity, did the market just take out these sellers?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. So now we have a liquidity sweep, and that would be considered my left shoulder. Good job, bro. Fire, fire, fire. Now look at this. We have a change of character. Right? So check me out. Check me out. We have a change of character right here in this area. Guys, my left shoulder is right here with my stop loss at this high. So look at this. Now let's take a look at it for real. Like this is where we have to start getting mature and start developing as traders, right? Notice how I want to sell in this area. Now instead of consolidation, we have trend line traders. So look at this, Jose. You notice how this one is sideways, right? Notice how this is the same thing, but it's slightly downward. Do you see that? It's the same thing,
Sure.
just slightly downward. So this is also liquidity, right? So we have money sitting at the top. Money is sitting right here. We already took out the buyers, right? Everybody who was buying at support, those guys already got taken out, right? So now I would love to see if the market can make its way up here, take out these sellers, and give me some of that movement. Not only that, guys, look at what's happening right here. Upward trend line trading again. Right? Again, people are selling at this resistance. Sellers were already taken out. So now we have buyers sitting right at this area that I need to see taken out. So I know this is a little bit advanced for a lot of you guys, but for those who can see the liquidity, there's money sitting here for a reason, guys. Money is, you know what I'm talking about? Money is sitting here for a reason. So if we're looking to take some sales, guys, they left clues for us. Money is sitting here. So what we would like to see is for the banks to come back, give me this right shoulder, take out these sellers, right? And then continue down and that downtrend and then take out these buyers. Guys, this is a textbook play, but you would never know unless you hop on Go Live and you get your studying in. Does that make sense, guys? Like, in my opinion, this is a pretty clean play, but if that gets taken out, well, I know where it wants to go next. right? I know where it wants to go next. So we can go ahead and just clean things up. Right? These are my two sell zones that I'm looking at. This is the closest one. This is the furthest one. And then again, let's look at this daily starting point, right? This is the daily starting point, right? Daily. Guys, when we're in a downtrend, what are we looking for? Are we looking for head and shoulders or inverted head and shoulders? Head and shoulders. Look at this. Higher high, higher low, a little bit of consolidation in between, right? A little bit of consolidation in between. We go higher, immediately drop. So not only is this a daily starting point, but this is also a 4-hour head and shoulder. So if the market wants to clap this zone, I know where it wants to go. I'm not fooled. Like, and at this point, guys, I'm not really dropping down to find any more entries. Like, this is it. This is what I'm waiting for. If you want to, you can. You totally can. I'm not saying you can't, but at this point, this is what I'm waiting for. Makes sense, guys? Anybody have any questions? Now, you may be saying, yo, Vinny, well, you have two sell zones. What zone should I be using? Well, I like to take opportunities as they come, right? So this is opportunity one, opportunity two, right? Now, again, I like to test trade my first touch. So I'll under leverage. But if you don't like to test trade, what you can do is you can just mark up the zones on the way up, mark up your breakage structures and change of character. So when the market does want to change character, boom, you have it locked and loaded. You can now use this as your setup instead of the big one. Boom. So now you can use this thing right here. You can now use this zone. So when the market wants to come back, you can take a sell off this and send it down, right? This would be your play. Stop loss right there. Boom. Whichever one you want to do, guys. If you want to wait for confirmation, you can wait for the confirmation. If you want to test trade, get in a little bit, under leverage, you can totally do so. But as of right now, guys, this is what I'm looking at. And it's honestly just a waiting game. That's all it is, guys. All it is a waiting game. How often do you look? What's INC in my Forex book to make a trade? How often do you look? How often do you look into my Forex book to make a trade? What do you mean by that, bro? Like at the news? Yeah, I personally don't trade with news, bro. Like I don't pay attention to news. I honestly don't. Like you can to be like, you know what? There's gonna be heavy volatility this day. But when you pay attention to the charts, bro, and you listen to what the chart's telling you, bro, 9 times out of 10, the news will push it to your entry and it's gone. So, and news, in my opinion, when you're beginning, bro, it's not so needed because then it can make you overthink. It's not so needed. Can it help you, give you a better bias? Of course. But if you focus on structure, the news will tell you what it's going to do. Like, just look at the structure. Look at, bro, check me out. If we just got a change of character, right? Let's just say this is the setup right here, right? We get a break of structure and we get a change of character. And this is what we're looking at, right? This is what we're looking at. And the market is right here right now. What are we thinking about doing? Taking sells, right? It doesn't matter if it's a news day or not a news day. If this is what the structure is telling me, I'm going to take that as a sell. That's how I see it, right? The news, all it's telling me is, yeah, when it gets here, I want to go ahead and shove that down. So don't be too heavy on news at the moment as a beginner. Focus on structure, guys. Structure will take you so far. Guys, structure will take you guys so far, and it's the basics, guys. Trust me. Like, I wish I had someone like me when I first came in. BJ can attest to this. Miguel can attest to this. Can attest to this. Jose can attest to this. Guys, we were searching for people who can help us, who can literally be like, bro, don't do this shit, or you will get clapped and lose money. I'm telling you guys, like, focus on structure. It will take you so far. Once you understand structure, go ahead and add a little bit of sauce so you can make your bias that much more, um, give you that much more confidence in your bias, if that makes sense. Make sense, guys? Let's go. Let's get it, guys. Let's get it. Does anybody have any questions before we go ahead and end the night? Are we good? So I'm seeing this right now. This is new. Alerts available now on IM Academy app. See setting page for detail. I'm gonna go ahead and click on that. Okay, cool. Master trades. So this is for the lifeline. So what this is, guys, the lifeline, if we go in here, the lifeline is actually a scanner that's helping you find plays, right? Look at this, guys. Let's see. What is this? What is this looking like? It's looking like we could possibly be getting a change of character, right? Now look at what's happening right here. If we're going to continue buying, look at what is happening right here. We have a low, high, we go lower, and we break it and closing above, right? Guys, the lifeline is literally helping you find head and shoulder plays. It's what it is, right? What it's doing, it's boxing up a certain candle. And then the peak below the box, that's your head. And then once we break and close above the box, that's your change of character. We can now use this and take opportunities, right? The lifeline scanner is super sauced up, guys. The only thing is we don't want to use their stop loss. We know the stop loss will always be at the low, right? So we can use this blue box as an entry. Doesn't matter where. Stop loss, with your take profits as affirmations with the minimum 1 to 3 years to award. You guys can use these as take partial points if you want, but again, minimum 1 to 3 years to award is what you guys should be taking. Look at guys, it's helping you find a head and shoulder setups that you can't see. What is this? Consolidation. Break up, break down. Change of character. Look at it's just already hit TP2. Boom, smacking. Right? So if you guys don't utilize the scanner, you guys should definitely start taking a look. The level scanner, guys, the lifeline is super fire. So peep that. Master trades. This is where Oren sends in all his trades. So I would definitely want these turned on. But for your lifeline, it looks like you can actually pick specific pairs for your needs, right? It's obviously for Forex pairs. So whatever Forex pair you guys trade, USD CAD, you can go ahead and select USD CAD, AUD USD, AUD USD. Boom. Awesome. Is imbalance important with the head and shoulder strat? No, it is not. That would be more with smart money, but understand that it twines in, bro. But if you can understand the head and the shoulder, when you go to smart money, it will click. It will click, bro. So keep studying, keep taking notes, and continue to plug in, guys. Continue to plug in. But with that being said, fam, that is it for me. I hope you guys had a good session. This was a fire session, in my opinion. Excuse me. I will fix that chart and I will send it to the levels chat, and I will also send it into the FRX funding powerhouse because I definitely fucked up with that. Thank you, Josue, for pointing that out. But guys, appreciate you for giving me your time. Thank you for asking questions. It makes the call that much better. And I will see you guys on Monday. Peace out.